seen it. Hey, Rock, he's in the wall. Keep up the good work, baby. Stomped out by the... Get the kid off it. Where's the line?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we've got your Elimination Chamber review. A surprising outcome, at least for the men's Elimination Chamber match, as Randy Orton moves on to face Drew McIntyre at Wrestlemania. The big question on our minds, of course, is it just going to be those two, or is Cody, Jacob, Sammy, Trick, Javon, Logan, they're all just fit a 10-man scramble for the title?
Why
just
not?
do that.
You know, at the end of the day, make the main event to tonight's show largely superfluous in terms of determining number one contender, because we're going to have probably at the minimum 4 people in this match at WrestleMania. It'll be Randall Keith Orton, whose victory was fairly surprising. But I guess it's, you know, we had the conversation one of the episodes this week about Cody kind of needing to win tonight rather than getting into the title match via, you know, lobbying, politicking with Nick Aldis, whatever the case may be.
Got to earn it.
That he would have to earn it. Didn't end up happening.
Time to politic.
Yeah, time to politic. Yeah. You know, it was an interesting kind of turn on things, because we saw when Cody qualified, he took advantage of Drew McIntyre's interference, and Sammy coming to help him. Now, I thought something similar might happen tonight, but with, you know, not with Sammy again. He wasn't in the match, but with Randy. Where Randy would end up eating a Claymore and Cody would take advantage or something. Nope, it was the opposite. It was Cody was filling the Sammy role tonight. Randy doing what Cody did in his qualifier, just taking advantage of the situation. Once Cody let his guard down, bang, RKO. 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment, got the win.
I love the idea. I love that you mentioned Sammy, because now I'm going to indulge a little bit. I love the idea that Sammy's going to be like, oh, Cody, guess what? Shoes on the other foot. Look at this. And then Cody's going to politic his way into WrestleMania and Sammy's going to be left out. Yep. I'd love to see just a Sammy cam on that moment. I don't know. Look, dude, I don't, the writing's going to have to be pretty damn good on this one. Is it just going to be Cody complaining to Aldis? Well, look at Drew McIntyre. He came down and then I got taken advantage.
It's going to be, I could have won this match if not for Drew. And Jacob's going to be like, well, I could have won on SmackDown. If not for Drew, I would have won that match. I would have been in the chamber instead of Logan Paul. So put me in match. Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Come on. It can't just be, I would have won, but you can't do that.
They can and they will.
I'm not saying
it's a good idea, Steve.
Right. Yeah. I want to make sure that you're not endorsing it.
Not at all. I don't want to see that. In fact, I'd much rather see Cody.
You really think that they can get, I hate saying this, they can get that lazy with it?
Yeah. Because this is how it's going to be framed.
That's horrible.
Cody's going to go over to Nick Aldis and be like, Drew McIntyre, he's out of control.
No.
Listen, because Drew is already on Nick Aldis' shit list.
Yeah, sure.
Several times, including on SmackDown last night. He's like, you're this close for me to like dropping the hammer on you, Drew McIntyre. And maybe what we saw tonight is the final straw for Nick Aldis, where he just says, Drew, you keep getting involved in stuff. All that Cody has to do is just put the thought in Aldis' mind. He doesn't have to like.
So hold on a second. They've announced Cody versus Drew on Friday.
Oh.
Apparently,
maybe Cody wins the title back there, and it is Cody versus Randy. It's entirely possible.
What? Yeah, dude, I don't know. That's entirely. I mean, they did it last year with Rhea. They did it last year with Rhea.
You're going to have Jacob Fatu get involved in that match, and Randy's. It's going to be a huge scrum at the end. No winner. Randy's going to come out. We're going to have this huge 4-way brawl, and Nick Aldis be like, all right, you guys apparently just want to tear each other apart. That's going to happen at WrestleMania.
That sounds more right. that sounds more right.
But the show is going to, I can't now, but I was going to say, if they had announced that match, Cody would have opened SmackDown, go up to Nick Aldis, put the thought in his ear.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I hate that a lot of complaining is going to get them there. I don't know if you make this, dude, it's entirely possible. Look, Cody is going to be closing out night one way or the other. Either as champion after winning on Friday because they're like, this Drew thing is kind of not working, so we're going to send. But yeah, I just feel like it's probably going to be a 4-way. They're going to find a way to get Jacob in there, and that's going to be it. I'd be kind of surprised if they made it a 5-way with Sammy in there.
Yeah, no, I think it's more interesting if, as you mentioned, Cody somehow finds his way in the match, even after what happened to him. Same thing kind of happened with Sammy, and Sammy's on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I love this for Randy though. I love that I thought this was a really good, because, yes, Cody needed to earn this, but we also could use a surprise here or there.
Yeah.
And Randy winning, especially the way he did, where yes, there was actually some good, the reference that you made to what happened with Sammy. Now the same thing does happen to Cody. I like that. I think that's good. That's how it should be. It's like, it's a throwback.
There's a distinct possibility what they could do is have Cody actually win the title back on Friday. Maybe Jacob interferes just to get his hands on Drew, and it's kind of like, it's not stated as such, but a make good for what happened in the 3 stages of hell with Cody. And then we get Cody and Randy for the title. And then they do Drew and Jacob.
I think that's a possibility too. Yeah.
I think that's a distinct possibility if they decide we're not going to do, the multi-man match.
Let me ask you this, looking at the roster and all these names, what is a bigger night one match? Let's say, obviously, one thing about what they want to do is sell more tickets. Do they see Cody versus Randy straight up one-on-one as a bigger draw than, there's a lot that they can do. There's a lot of history there, obviously.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of history with Randy and championship titles. He's at 14. He might be gunning for John Cena's record.
Yeah.
And so you can tell that story.
He's mentioned trying to get 15. Yeah.
I'm always a bigger fan of one-on-one. Do they see, if they did go with one-on-one, is it a bigger draw for Cody versus Randy than Cody versus Drew? I kind of feel like it probably is.
I don't necessarily think one match is more of a draw than the other, honestly. Like, I don't feel like, I like Drew. I like Jacob Fatu a lot. And unless they can crack a really interesting story beyond what they just had, which is Drew just likes messing with people and has come back to bite him, then maybe that would change my mind. But I don't necessarily know if, in terms of anticipation or marquee value, having the 4-way over the one-on-one match between Cody and Orton is necessarily any better.
I don't think.
I think know. I think especially for Mania, if you focus on the history of Randy and Cody and make this feud personal without necessarily turning anybody heel, just make it personal.
You don't need to
get into it. Yeah. Their history. That I think of the options in comparison to just doing, all right, Drew just messes with people. Now he's got to contend with that. I feel like a more personal story between Cody and Randy would probably be a more interesting road to WrestleMania than the 4-way.
I think also, or just the straight. I mean, look, they're doing the match on Friday. Something's going to happen there, obviously.
Yeah, either they're going to set up the Mania match or Cody's winning.
But I guess my point was, faced with the option of, do you do just straight up Cody versus Drew, or do you pivot to Cody versus Randy? If they were just strictly thinking one-on-ones, Cody versus Randy's a bigger match. It is, absolutely. That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Without a doubt, yeah, I think it is. We've already seen Cody and Drew a couple times on pay-per-view within the last 365 days, and trying to say, all right, this match is the one this WrestleMania main event worthy. And then one of the potential benefits of going with Cody and Randy is then you have elsewhere on the card, Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. You got a match for Jacob. You got a match for Drew.
Yeah.
Granted, it's not Drew defending the title at WrestleMania, which I'm sure will be a bummer for him, but nonetheless, there's a ready-made feud right there.
I think they're in we need to sell tickets mode.
Yes.
And you're right. I don't think adding people to a match adds marquee value. I think it dilutes it. I don't think it adds anything. I think putting a good video package together on a good one-on-one is the way to go. as opposed to just all sorts of people. You look at WrestleMania 2000 and what they did with that. You were there for that. You bought tickets for that.
Yeah, that was not a fun WrestleMania, no.
Probably at 10% the price that they're selling these days.
Oh, yeah. I think we were in the upper deck, but I think our tickets were $50.
Mm-hmm.
If memory serves. We're about halfway up the upper deck, and I think it was $50.
Yeah, man. 2000, year 2000, you could buy a lot more with $50.
You got that right.
Than you can now.
You got that right. We had another surprise in the men's chamber match. It was Seth Rollins. He's back.
Yeah, Seth Rollins came back. We actually saw 2 masked men tonight, 3 over the past 24 hours, because of course last night we had Bob Smackdown be revealed. It was just a jabroni from Seth Rollins' school, apparently. I shouldn't call him a jabroni. I'm sure he has a name. Maybe somebody in chat can give us the name.
I saw what the name was today. And
within the universe of WWE, he's a jabroni. And then tonight there was a second jabroni who showed up, and they took him away.
He was a diversion.
He was diversion jabroni. They took him, everybody in security took him away. And while they were doing that, Seth freaking Rollins shows up, but he was under a mass situation. Completely bodily look like Seth Rollins.
Moving like Seth Rollins, yes.
Goes in there, hits a Seth Rollins stomp on Logan Paul, who got 3 eliminations tonight. Obviously, those 3 were supposed to go to Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
But they did a thing on SmackDown where they took Jay out and put Logan in. And he unmasked. Sure enough, Seth Rollins, he's back. He's targeting the Vision clearly. Do you think Braun Breaker, is he going to be going after the Vision? If Braun's ready for Mania, you could even wheel out Braun on the go home to Mania.
Yeah.
And you got that match made.
Yeah, I think that would be the goal. We'd seen Logan versus Seth at Mania before. Don't really need to revisit that.
No.
It's not going to be Seth versus Austin Theory.
And Bronson Reed's the only other guy. I don't even know when he's going to be ready to go.
He's going to be out for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we're talking Mania matches for Seth, it's kind of Braun or nothing. Unless they can find a way to write him into the Roman Punk thing, which at this juncture kind of feels like it needs a shot in the arm.
I don't know if that's the shot in the arm. They could look, for the sake of, I assume Braun Breaker is going to be ready for Mania. Given that Logan Paul, and I'm not advocating for this, but given that he kind of does have a fresh coat of paint because of the Vision. He's sort of like, in Braun Breaker's absence, the mouthpiece of the Vision.
Yeah, he stepped up. Yeah.
You could do that match again. Would it have the impact of a Braun Breaker? Clearly not. But you could do that. I could see them doing that. But you got to think Braun Breaker's going to be ready by Mania, and that'll end up being the match.
It probably will be.
Yeah. We are going to talk about Elimination Chamber. Maybe we'll go big picture when we come back from our ad reads here. But we have a couple sponsors for the show this week. Also, we had a debut in WWE, which seemed to have gotten mixed results from the audience in attendance.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that as well. But yeah, we do have some sponsors for the show, so let's go ahead and talk about them.
Let's do it. This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by Tempo. I like to eat well, and I try my best to make my own healthy meals at home as often as I can, but unfortunately, there are times my schedule is just too packed, and prioritizing healthy eating is one of the first things I gotta drop just to save a little bit of time.
Ah, man, I hear you. In times like those, though, my default used to be a trip to the nearest drive-thru or constant runs to the kitchen to grab whatever snacks I happen to have. But now I reach for Tempo. Tempo provides me with nutrient-packed meals that are delivered directly to my door and are ready to eat in 2 minutes. Perfect for those times when I need real fuel real fast.
And Tempo keeps things exciting with 20 new chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals every week, like basil pesto chicken. Steve, you like pesto, yeah?
I love pesto.
And Chipotle ranch chicken. And they're made from nutrient-rich ingredients so you can stay consistent with your healthy eating habits.
Tempo is convenient and flexible enough to fit the way you want to eat. No matter your goals, Tempo has a meal for you. They've got carb-conscious, GLP-1 balanced meals, and protein-packed meals with up to, and I know you'll love this, Larson, get this, 30 grams of protein.
Did you just say 30 grams?
You heard me correctly.
30.
Yes.
Yeah. For a limited time, Tempo is offering Going in Raw listeners 60% off their first box. Go to tempomeals.com/raw. That's tempomeals.com/raw for 60% off your first box. Tempomeals.com/raw. Rules and restrictions may apply. And this episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by Nowadays. You know, Steve,
Yeah.
we like to kid. We like to joke around about getting our load on after we wrap up one of our evening recaps, much like this one.
Joking. Don't joke. What are you talking about? I'm all about it.
Well, I do, but at my age, doing that, get my load on, only leads to one place. Hangover City, population Larson.
Yeah, no. Hangover City. I know it well. It's not a fun place to be, but I've got good news for you, Larson. I can grant you access to a club that guarantees no hangovers.
Pardon me? What'd you say?
Yeah, man. I'm talking about the No Hangover Club.
No Hangover Club? Tell me more.
All right, man. Probably asking, how is that even possible? Well, I got the answer for you. Nowadays is a zero-proof, THC-infused beverage that delivers a clean, balanced buzz with no hangover, so you don't have to trade a fun night for a painful morning.
Yeah, Nowadays offers up a smarter way to drink with a smooth taste and a social lift that actually feels good. Whether you're pouring it over ice with one of these single-serving bottles or cracking open a ready-to-drink can like this, Nowadays fits whatever vibe you're looking for, pre-game party or low-key night in. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. Have a nice, relaxing evening with some Nowadays.
Nowadays is how you show up and wake up feeling your best, because fun shouldn't come with a cost. Welcome to the upgrade. Welcome to Nowadays. Visit trynowadays.com/raw to get 30% off your order. That's trynowadays.com/raw or use code RAW at checkout. Drink responsibly. Must be 21 or older. All right, man. So we got the debut tonight of one Danhausen in WWE. He, in fact, was what was in the crate along with like 8 other people. They were all Danhausen dancers. And Dancerhausens. They had the crate up on the stage, and they open up the crate, and then they got the coffin in there. Inside. That opens up, and then a bunch of Dancerhausens come out. And then he comes out trailing them. And at first it felt like the crowd was kind of like, oh, all right, well, what's this? And then they started booing him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were hoping to be Chris Jericho.
You're probably right about that. Yeah. Yeah, but no Painmaker. He gave Michael Cole some teefies, some
jar teeth. Yeah.
The jar teeth, which is his thing. He's got a shirt that's up on WWE Shop. How do they integrate Danhausen into WWE programming without the reaction that we got tonight?
So, a lot of the segments, specifically on SmackDown, with the crate, were comedic in nature, usually involving R-Truth. Usually, Catatonic Gargano was there as well, the tag division for the most part. So I kind of think that's it. They might actually team him with R-Truth to begin. Truthhausen.
Mm-hmm.
And have them enter into the tag division. Everybody loves R-Truth. No one's going to boo R-Truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their comedic dynamic could be really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That might be the route they go.
I think that they need to keep some of his stuff backstage at first and make sure that the writing is on point with the comedy, because as long as it's funny, as long as it's good, people are going to be into it. That's all you can do. You just gotta, doing the R-Truth thing, will help. But you can't do what you did tonight again. Just wheel him out there without
and expect everybody to know who he is and be excited about him coming to WWE. It was like they took it for granted that enough people knew of Danhausen and would be excited for him to come to WWE. That, like, I thought the stuff with the crate was fine. I thought his actual debut was a lot of fun. But when there was expectations seemingly in the building about potentially Chris Jericho being in there, even though it makes no sense. Jericho in a crate makes no sense.
Yeah.
um, then yeah, it's tough to see those expectations be dashed, and then you get that immediate response from the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I figured I was always kind of I was on the fence in terms of like, okay, well, he's in the crate. If they bust it out live in front of, like, on the stage or in the ring even, then I don't know who's going to know who he is. I don't know how many
Yeah.
people are going to know who he is.
I'm kind of surprised they did it on the stage. I really am.
Because, I don't think you can come to any other conclusion than the one that you just came to. WWE might have taken for granted that people know who he is, which is hilarious given that it's a company that often loves to just ignore that other wrestling exists.
Yeah, I know.
They've been much better about it under Triple H. They reference, they don't reference AEW, but they do reference New Japan. They reference, TNA, obviously. They've got to work a relationship with them. Yeah. They reference Noah. They reference other stuff now, but traditionally it's like either you're WWE, like they still say, oh, I'm not a wrestling fan, I'm a WWE fan, and so that they would think that people would know who he is in the first place, or maybe it was just hey, let's do something big like this and sort of introduce him in the way that is obviously, hey, here's a new character. He's crazy. He's kooky. He's a comedy guy. It's going to be silly. It's going to take 5 minutes and, people will be introduced to him. Mm-hmm. But like the Chicago crowd was like, the fuck is this? But being short-sighted about what expectations are for the box is folly.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get from WWE's perspective to a degree, having the debut take place on stage in Chicago, which is, usually, like a more, they have the reputation Chicago does in terms of being really passionate wrestling fans. And I guess the idea is, Chicago or Philly would probably be the two cities you'd think would be more likely to be aware of Danhausen.
But they're also the two cities that are most likely to be critical of whatever,
To be vocally dump on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Which it wasn't like a cacophony of boos by a stretch of the imagination. It was a tepid response.
The boos were pretty prominent. Like, here's the thing. Yeah. I could barely hear using my little earpiece because I try to engage with you, obviously, in the Friendos. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm hearing boos. And on the discussion right now online is WWE just fucking killed them. That's what a lot of people are saying right now. So if that's the general sort of conversation out there, that ain't good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. My thing is this. I am really happy for the guy. Mm-hmm. It is, in my opinion, going to be an uphill climb. Yep. They need to get some good minds to write for him. And then you might have something.
Yeah.
But you got it, because otherwise within a month he's going to be in AAA.
Yeah. 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 That's a distinct possibility.
Yeah. But yeah, if you get some good comedy writers to do some stuff for him, then, God, they've got 1 million writers over there. You got to figure somebody will know what to do with them.
You'd think so. So. Maybe CM Punk's doing the writing for Danhausen. They're buddies.
That could be, that could be.
Phil's written TV before.
He's written TV. Danhausen kind of has comic book character. Phil's written comic books before.
Yeah.
He wrote a Drax comic book.
He did.
Yeah. And then in the women's chamber match, we had Rhea Ripley winning. Now, this sort of answered a question that we had. Does WWE feel the same way about Tiffany Stratton as we do? In terms of like, okay, she just came back. It doesn't seem like the reactions are as strong as they would want to immediately push her to the title again. Mm-hmm. But then I've admitted this. Maybe that's just Steve and his bubble. Maybe that's just me. But usually I'm pretty aware if like the reactions are big.
Yeah.
Are you with me on the reactions of her since her return?
Absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't have, the reactions haven't been nearly as vocal as they were prior. Who knows if that's a situation where they're necessarily listening to those reactions right now. Another aspect of it is She did an interview lately, and I'm paraphrasing, but she was talking about how she was kind of confused why she was getting cheered and how she like preferred being a heel. So maybe it's a situation where they're going to kind of go back to the drawing board a little bit in terms of her presentation and character and kind of get her back on that track as opposed to trying to push her as a babyface. Because I think we can agree the best work she's done so far in the world of wrestling has been as a heel.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, yeah. And her work was so good as a bad guy, she started getting cheered.
Mm-hmm.
Jade versus Rhea Ripley is going to be the match at WrestleMania. They just lost the tag titles. Rhea and Io did yesterday on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Again, going back to, all right, what are the biggest names we can bust out to sell some tickets to make WrestleMania as big as we can? You know, we can say that Punk versus Roman is the biggest main event in history as much as we want, but that ain't going to move people to buy tickets. Nope. You got to put up some matches with some real star power. Rhea Ripley's probably top 3 biggest stars they have.
Without a doubt.
Her versus Jade at WrestleMania, I feel like it's basically meant to set up Rhea versus Io probably at SummerSlam. Rhea's going to win this match, right?
I think that's a distinct possibility. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's going to be a real test to see if, to address, I think not only the narrative that WWE kind of in a rut right now, try to generate some interest, some ticket sales, that they'd want to put the title on Rhea because she's immensely popular.
Super popular, yeah.
And have her involved in high profile feuds. Yeah, that makes sense. Or if they are thinking, well, the brand kind of sells itself to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have this match and really elevate Jade to the next level by getting this win over Rhea. But it doesn't seem like they're doing much to build up Jade because she's defended the title once.
Yeah, that's the big thing there.
Which makes me think it's probably more likely a thing where Rhea's probably going to get the win.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal with that is. How do you have somebody as your top champion on a brand, hyped her up endlessly? She's proven that she can have matches and not and pull out matches. You put her with quality people and she could be brought to a good match. We've seen that before.
Yeah.
And yet you don't have her defend for like 3 months. Like the match with Jordan Grace was a good match.
It was wildly entertaining. Yeah.
You do like a couple of those, you toss in a couple of squash matches, and you've got a title run there. They haven't done anything, which leads me to think they don't see it. They're waiting it out. They'll put it on Rhea at WrestleMania, and then I'm not going to say start over, but pivot with Jade. Maybe they were just sitting there the entire time waiting to figure out what's going to happen with Bianca because there's a story there.
Yeah, I think that was probably a lot of it too. Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing with Jade Cargill. It's kind of crazy to me, but who knows what's going on backstage. But yeah, it seems like that title just needs like a freshen up, and you need a big name to have it. And Rhea Ripley is the biggest one they got.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. You want to talk about the 2 matches in between? So we have a new Intercontinental Champion, Women's Intercontinental Champion. AJ Lee got the win over Becky Lynch in a pretty overbooked bout.
Mm-hmm.
Ref bumps and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then we had CM Punk retain the World Heavyweight Championship. Finn Balor did not ruin the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time, as Michael Cole loves to say.
Nor did he. Shit. What did Cole pivot to?
Oh,
complicated.
Put it in Jeopardy or something like that.
Yeah.
Finn versus Punk was not a terribly engaging bout.
No, it was slow. It was slow. It was very slow.
They tried to salvage it at the end by picking up the pace a little bit. By that point, it was just pretty clear. All right, you're just trying to give the crowd a scintilla of excitement after lulling them to sleep for the previous 15 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this was not either person's best. It wasn't even close to being as good as their Raw match.
No, the Raw match was way better.
It was actually a really good match. Yeah. Yeah, this was kind of lame. Punk got a really cool entrance. He got the Chicago Bulls entrance. That was neat.
Yeah.
That was cool.
But like, it doesn't really advance. I mean, depending what they do with Finn, obviously. But in terms of advancing the story within Judgment Day, it just made all the sense. All right. Hey, JD, Dom, stay in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I got to prove I can win on my own. And then rather than him be able to show up on Raw on Monday after Dom and JD don't listen to him and try to help him, lead him to lose, he just has to walk into the clubhouse, head down, like Michael Cera's character in Arrested Development, George Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Just a sad sack piece of shit.
Yeah.
And has to show his face in the clubhouse. Where's the tension?
I'm assuming that'll happen between him and Dom. I could still see him and Dom for the IC title at Mania, probably. Or he'll just take a back seat to all that and go after the tag titles again. I honestly don't know. I think that, Finn gets good reactions still. He can still go. We saw that not tonight, but on Raw when he had the Punk match. You could slot him in a title match and it's legit. Nobody's like, what's he doing there? Mm-hmm. But we all know he's a depth guy. But for the main event, he's like
he's a utility. He's a utility guy, basically.
He is. You could toss him in any situation and he'll improve that situation. It just always feels like they're just barely scratching the surface. It's been 10 years, 12 years, whatever it is, 11 years. And they've just been scratching the surface for 11 years with what Finn Balor can bring to the equation.
Yeah. Yeah. Strange.
The AJ Lee Becky Lynch match, I thought it was better than the men's Chicago match. I thought it was better than the men's the Punk match.
Yeah.
I thought that the moves looked really good. It wasn't nearly as slow and plodding as the men's match. And AJ Lee pulled off the win. I always love the stuff between Becky and Jessica Carr. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And we had some of that towards the finish. But otherwise, I thought the match was perfectly serviceable. AJ Lee was gone for a very long time. And now I'm doing it. And, I wasn't wowed by her stuff prior to this, her first couple matches back. But like this one I liked. I thought it was really good. You probably got to credit Becky Lynch for a lot of that because Becky's just really good. Yeah,
Becky is really good. And I think it was a match where the kind of overbooked nature of it towards the end especially elevated the excitement level. It was a solid bout. It was solid.
Yeah. I thought it was fine. And then AJ Lee walks into WrestleMania as Intercontinental Champion. Probably get a stip match there with Becky, right?
I would think so. Yeah. Yep. And Becky will probably win it back there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess.
Let's go ahead and dive into it. So, some reason I wanted to say Adam Cole. Michael Cole welcomes us to the United Center. First time they've been in the United Center in a very long time.
Yeah, usually they run the Allstate Arena.
Yeah, right.
They're in Chicago. Yeah.
Apparently they said, I didn't catch this, but they said this is the first match CM Punk has ever had here, but the first episode of Collision was there. But they
Rampage. It wasn't Collision. It was Rampage.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He debuted?
No. His first match. Because he didn't have a match.
I just know his debut in AEW was at United Center. It was the first.
But that was just a promo, though.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't remember if his first match on Collision was at United Center or not.
So I saw it on Twitter, so who knows if it's true. But it was some sort of a six-man with FTR and somebody else. So that sounds like a Collision thing.
All right, I'll check.
Yeah. Anyways, they're at the United Center. We have a CM Punk roaming around the streets of Chicago, cold open. And the first match we get is Women's Elimination Chamber. I thought this was match of the night, dude. I thought that the urgency in this match, I thought the intensity of this match, it never let up. There's always cool shit going on. Tiffany Stratton, I've been critical of her, but she is terrific in the ring, and she took a beating in this match.
Yeah, can confirm first Collision, United Center.
What was the match? Okay, do you have the match?
It was Punk and FTR versus Bang Bang Gang.
That's what it was, Bang Bang Gang.
And Samoa Joe.
Okay, so there you go. So that Twitter post was correct.
I just don't remember. I didn't remember.
But WWE tonight said this was Punk's first match there.
Well, again, this is WWE going back to the idea that wrestling is WWE and WWE is wrestling.
Right. Exactly.
You can't have it both ways, WWE.
Can't have it both ways, man.
Try as you might, you can't have it both ways.
Mr. Sinister here in the chat says, what happened to Collision Cowboy Steve?
It's a week-to-week thing, and once the next week happens, it's gone.
Yeah.
He's not an encyclopedia of Collision.
No, nor am I a regular watcher of Collision. No. Hey, look, I thought that was a healthy ambition for me to be a Collision cowboy, but best intentions, as they say. Anyways, no, I thought this match was cool, man. I thought that everybody busted their ass in this match. I thought this was really good, dude.
There was some good creative stuff as well. We can kind of go through the eliminations here. First eliminated, gosh darn it, I said this is going to happen in predictions. I didn't stick with it. Alexa Bliss, first out. She leaps off the top of one of the pods onto everybody else, looking for a Sister Abigail on Kiana, I believe. Asuka hits her with the mist, though, as she's about to hit Sister Abigail. Kiana rolls her up and eliminates her. I made the mistake of doing some research and saw that Kiana already pinned Alexa once in a tag match. That was my mistake.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Overthought it. That's what happens. Raquel had a great showing of this match.
She did. Yes,
she was dominant for a stretch.
She was. Yeah, she did the stack.
She did. She stacked Asuka and Kiana.
Kiana. Yeah. I don't think we've seen a stack. It's been a while since we've seen a stack.
I don't think we've seen a stacked since Roman stacked.
I'm trying to remember if Oba stacked anybody or if they've done anything with a huge person
maybe like
stacking.
a squash thing.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I guess in a competitive match, we haven't seen a stack.
No, we have not since WrestleMania.
Since WrestleMania 38.
Yeah.
So Raquel eliminates Asuka, and Kiana, after powerbombing Asuka onto Kiana, stacks him, pins him. They're both eliminated. Later on, Raquel hits a fall-away slam, looking for the corkscrew elbow, tries a Tijuana bomb on Tiffany. Tiffany avoids it. And so Tiffany is on Raquel's shoulders, I believe. Anyways. Rio's on top of one of the pods, leaps off, take out both of them, and then Tiffany hits Raquel with the prettiest moonsault ever, covers. Raquel is eliminated. So it's down to Tiffany and Rhea at this point, which is kind of surprising because I thought it'd be a situation where they didn't want two baby faces that were both fairly popular. Obviously, Rhea probably more popular of the two. As the final two, I figured it'd probably be Rhea and Raquel as the final two, but hey. Anyways, Rhea gets the win. Tiffany's looking for the moonsault. Rhea pushes her off the top rope into the pod. And that was at least the second, if not third time that Tiffany got shoved into the pod. Early on, she takes this awkward fall into one of the pods. And then Rhea hits a riptide to get the W. She is moving on to WrestleMania to face Jade Cargill, who was watching the entire match from a luxury box.
That's right. Yeah. So that'll be cool. That's a fresh matchup right there. And the crowd
a lot of star power too.
Every time they have a face, every time they cross paths, or Jade mentioned her on SmackDown last week, the crowd pops for that. So that's gonna be good.
Yeah. Yep.
After that, we had the Intercontinental Championship on the line, Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. Again, we had the overbooking stuff at the end here with the ref. This is a ref, Jessica Carr, that Becky Lynch has had problems with in the past. I think this Jessica Carr has it out for Becky Lynch. I
think not without her reasons. They've had their tension in the past.
I don't know, man. A lot of people are saying Jessica Carr has it out for Becky Lynch.
You're just not saying that, right? Other people are saying it.
A lot of people are saying this now. Anyways, so AJ hits Becky with a knockout blow. She crawls to the pin for a 2. So Jessica Carr grabs the turnbuckle pad because it had come off. She tries to reattach it.
Yeah, Becky took it off early in the match. Yeah.
Becky shoves AJ into the ref and then gets a roll up for 2. And then Becky, going for a roundhouse kick on AJ, accidentally hits Jessica Carr. Doesn't really care much about it. She just sort of shrugs it off. And then she's trapped in a Black Widow from AJ. She taps, but the ref is out. AJ goes to check on the ref. Becky attacks her from behind. AJ's booted out of the ring. Becky throws into the barricade. She grabs a chair from under the ring, slides it inside. Eventually, Becky plants AJ with a DDT on the chair, hits a manhandle slam. Jess comes to. AJ kicks out. Becky starts to crash out a bit. The ref prevents her from using the exposed turnbuckle, and then AJ rolls Becky up for 2. AJ hits an arm drag on Becky, and then Becky goes flying face first into the exposed turnbuckle, and then AJ locks her back into a Black Widow, and Becky taps. AJ Lee gets the win.
Yep. It was a solid bout. Then we're backstage. Aldis and Pierce are with the crate. It's Papa John's ad, essentially. Truth comes in with a box of Papa John's. Didn't look like a terribly good pizza. Truth had to eat some.
Yeah, dude, it sounds like our just with that one bite, there's going to be a reckoning within our Truth's bowels because this pizza looked like it'd been sitting there for a little while.
Yeah,
it's kind of gnarly.
Cold.
It's
sad.
Like some of
the
sad pizza.
The oil from the pepperoni kind of coagulated.
Yeah. It turns orange. It was very orange pizza.
Yeah. So after that, we had Punk versus Finn. It's great to have Finn's music back, his old music back.
Yeah, dude. If nothing else, this feud has brought that old great theme song back.
Yeah. So Punk had a special entrance. He came to the ring, starting backstage. Actually, he just came to the curtain. With Alan Parsons' project Sirius, which was the Chicago Bulls entrance theme when they were doing their announcement for the games. That song would always play.
Mm-hmm.
And they had either the actual Bulls PA announcer or someone who sounded a lot like him, do a introduction for Punk in the style of.
Are you an Alan Parsons project guy?
I know this song and I know Eye in the Sky.
Eye in the Sky is a great song.
It's a fantastic song.
Really, really good song.
I mean, a legendary recording engineer.
If you ever watch the video,
records.
If you ever watch the video for Don't Answer Me, really cool video. It's looks like a Dick Tracy type animation thing.
Interesting.
Really cool. I caught it on Pluto TV once, and then I had to load it up like every day for a month. That's how I went.
Yeah, that sounds like it was Lindsey Buckingham, that one song for a while.
Yeah, Trouble. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Some of these videos from the 80s are so just weird. They're like car wrecks. You got to watch them over and over again.
The weirdest part about that Lindsey Buckingham one is like there's a dude who looks like Tom Petty, but I don't know if it's Tom Petty.
It's definitely not Tom Petty. I know who you're talking about, though.
Almost just like Tom Petty.
Yeah.
Strange.
It is strange.
Anyways, Punk's entrance is probably the highlight of this match. They spent a lot of time in rest holds. Namely, Finn had Punk in abdominal stretch for at least 2 minutes because he was working over Punk's midsection.
Long. Prior to that, he was in, like within 3 minutes of the match, he's in a fucking headlock on the ground.
Yeah, it's just plotting. I don't know. Like
Rest
Finn's
hold.
best matches are the fast-paced ones.
Yeah.
And if this is what we got to expect or to look forward to for Punk versus Roman, they better add Seth to it.
I feel safe in saying the first 20 minutes of Punk versus Roman, it's going to be like pick up a book, get on Instagram, whatever.
Yeah.
It's going to be so plotting. And then that last 15 minutes, boy, it's going to pick up. You're going to get a really ref bump. Then the Roman match begins. It's kind of like War Games. Nothing really happens until everybo's out there.
Yeah.
In Roman's case, nothing really happens till the ref bump. Then you got to pay attention.
Yeah. So at one point, Punk hits the GTS. Balor rolls out to the floor, and then Finn ends up shotgun drop kicking Punk through the barricade. Gets him back in the ring. Punk's looking for a GTS. Balor hits another sling blade, hits a drop kick, looks for the coup de grace. Punk catches his foot on the way down, though, and gets him at a sharpshooter. So Finn makes it to the ropes. Punk drags him back towards the middle, looking for another sharpshooter. Finn blocks it, and then Punk just stomps on his head a couple times, hits a GTS, and gets the win. There was like no drama to this match whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so afterwards, Finn extends his hand. Punk shakes it. He leaves, and then AJ comes to the ring to celebrate with Punk, and Punk had busted his lip open somehow, so he's bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, Punk over in Chicago, clean.
Yep, Punk up.
Then we had the men's Elimination Chamber match. I've been refreshing social media stuff to see if there's any info about Javon Evans. Because when Logan Paul eliminated him, he hit him with his move. But man, Javon, it looked like he came straight down on top of his head. And I never know, like, what the ref's hand movements are. Obviously, we've known the X. We didn't see an X, but these days I think they kind of only use the kayfabe X these days. They just get on their thing and tell people what's going on. Yeah. So there's really no need to do that. But Logan Paul got 3 eliminations, which probably means Bronson Reed was supposed to get 3 eliminations.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one on Javon who went out first, he was the first eliminated. Boy, that was a rough looking move. I hope the guy was just selling, and it's entirely possible that he was just selling, but man, that was a rough looking spot.
Yeah, that looked gnarly. It did look like memory serves. Javon at least managed to tuck his chin.
He kind of had his arm up and he tucked his chin, so I'm hoping that really did, did what it was supposed to do.
I hope so. So yeah, Logan eliminates Javon there with his finisher. Later on, LA Knight hits a BFT on Trick. Logan hits LA Knight with a low blow, rolls him up to eliminate him. And then later on, Cody hits Trick with a crossroads, and the Logan throws Cody into the ring post, covers Trick to get that pin. So that's his 3 eliminations. So Trick's really slow to leave the ring, and so the diversion masked man makes his appearance. He starts to climb the cage. I'm like, there's a roof on the cage. You can't get in. Obviously a diversion. So security takes him away, and so Seth Rollins, as masked man, sneaks in, kick, stomp on Logan. Cody covers Logan to pin him. He's out. Not Dick Togo style, but Seth unmasks. You could hear Heyman screaming, "Oh my God! Oh my God! No!" So Seth he looks at Cody and then takes his leave. Jumps over the barricade, goes through the crowd. And so they're still taking forever to close this door. This allows Drew to make an appearance, hits Cody with the title. He looks for a Claymore. Cody avoids that. Drew hits him with the headbutt, hits some shots in the corner. Randy hits Drew with an RKO. And it's one of those RKOs where, whoever takes it just kind of bounces up. Cody hits Drew with the crossroads. And as soon as Cody gets up from the crossroads, Randy hits him with an RKO, covers, and gets the win.
Mm-hmm. I will say this, for a guy who, as of Monday, was not slated to be in this match, Logan Paul did a hell of a job. He got wrecked, got tossed through his pod out to the other side. Yeah. Of course, everybody, in kayfabe, in character, they're all gunning for Logan Paul. And for him to put himself what he went through, hats off to the guy, because he did it. He stepped up with less than a week's notice and was like, I'm going to the chamber, which is one of the, roughest matches you can go through.
Can be.
Yeah.
We got some memberships here in chat. We can go through real quick.
Yeah.
Blind Cinephile says, happy Orton won. A ladder match for the WWE title will be fun at Mania, but that's just me. I do think it'll be a fatal 4-way, if not more.
Varuk says, me and a really close friend just got done running our own watch along for an actual sports channel. And thank you to Enough for the inspiration. Well, thank you very much for letting us know that. And absolutely, that's my favorite thing. When people I love when people are like, we used to watch you as a kid. Now we have our own podcast thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I know we're old. Totally.
Yeah.
But that's
really
awesome.
Old.
That's very nice.
Approaching 50.
Yeah.
Fazzy here says, happy Chamber Friendos. Thanks for the very good, very not evil podcast. Thank you, Fazzy.
I feel like the new name for Friendo Club should be Approaching 50.
Yeah.
I think it's a good name for a good channel,
The Beelzebub member.
The Beelzebub?
Not Beelzebub, Beelzebub.
Oh, man. For a second, I thought actual Lucifer was here.
No. Says they can do Punk versus Balor every PLE for the rest of the year. Yes, no drama, but goddamn, it was awesome.
All right. Okay. All right.
Over on the Twitch, we had some subs too were there, I believe. Oh, did we get a raid from Alex? Yes, Alex, Queen of the Ring, raided us.
What? Is she still here?
Just noticed it.
Alex.
Hi,
I watched
Alex.
your
Sorry,
I watched your
earlier.
I watched your WWE 2K26 vlog, seething with jealousy that you went out there.
Yeah.
But
Steve wasn't happy about that whole situation.
They want the young voices, the relevant.
A couple of dudes approaching 50.
A couple of fucking old men sitting here, gnawing on rotisserie chicken or a cheeseless pepperoni and pineapple pizza.
Yeah, there's peppers and onions on it too, but yeah. Play Spin in FM. No, Play Spin FM, sorry, with the sub says, hey, friendos, hello.
Hello. Girl Amon just became a channel member as well. Speaking of which, do we have an official February predictions champion?
We do. It is David Spies.
David Spies. David Spies, I will start working on your prize immediately for the February predictions challenge.
I'm still waiting for mine last month.
I didn't even finish. As soon as I'm done finishing Larson's, which I think I still have to do the December ones as well. So once I'm done, look, that is my priority right now is to get these prizes done and out there. And I'm going to come up with the Mania ones. I got to do the March ones, but the Mania ones, because we're back on the road, Larson, to the biggest predictions challenge ever. Part 2, the next one. This is going to be last year's was the biggest ever. This one for WrestleMania is going to be the greatest predictions challenge. This isn't going to be it's going to be the greatest predictions challenge of all time, the WrestleMania edition.
You know, I'm looking at the score sheet for predictions today. There's some familiar names on here that had been participating in a little while. For example, John Hosey.
John, where were you at the Rumble? I needed the John Hosey at the Rumble because Larson came away from the Rumble with the Ultimo win. But there's still time. Huh?
So why does that upset you that I'm a 3-time predictions champion now?
Because I want some competition for you. That's why.
Well, there is competition.
Don't you want to go up against the best?
I do, absolutely.
Well, then that's John Hosey
anymore.
Why are you trying to cut John Hosey out of the equation is the bigger question here.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I want to see everybody participate.
Yeah, I do
More
too.
the better.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, well then why are you giving me static for wanting to see that?
I'm not giving you static. You're the one giving me static. You're always giving me static.
You started the static.
No static.
Hey, for the biggest WrestleMania predictions challenge, can one of the prizes be Snake Larson shirt?
If I win.
You already have one. You don't need one. Anyways, if you want in on the next predictions challenge, oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
It's coming up in March sometime. And if you want to do that, click on join right here at youtube.com/Stephen Larson, like all these amazing friendos have done and we've talked about. Click join or go to patreon.com/Stephen Larson. Click on the Friendo Club setup there. And either way you do it, it's $5 a month. It's a great way to help support the show. And a couple of old dudes approaching 50. So do that. You also get access to our bonus episodes and question threads. Also, right now, friendoshop.com, we've got some absolutely terrific merchandise there. And it is right here, the Melty merch drop. Look at this stuff. You could wear this to a bar and not look like an idiot. You wear this, they'll be like, oh, hey, look, we have a basketball jersey for the court. We got a couple of black t-shirts, one that says, I watch wrestling for the exploration of interpersonal dynamics between characters, a sentiment that we have echoed many times.
Yes, you might have heard it on the show at least once.
A couple of new hats that say Friendo, or I think Friend Club in Japanese. And then you got a couple of Melty iPhone cases. I tried to make Samsung Galaxy cases, and it just froze up on me. So that's a big no way. So get this merch now. Use the code Friendo2026 to get 20% off. Don't pay full price.
Do not pay full price. Absolutely not.
This is the only merch you really need to know about here. Right?
Correct.
Oh, so that is correct. So this is the only merch you care about.
No, I care about all of it.
What other stuff?
The Melty stuff.
Ah, that's right. Here's
I thought
the
you were
Melty
talking
stuff.
about that because you mentioned the phone case. The phone case is Melty.
Yeah, but it's like, come on, it's a phone case. You just pull that out. You can put whatever on there. Who cares? We've got a bucket hat. We've got a basketball jersey. We've got a hoodie. We're going to get a video review from Mr. Dope on the hoodie this week.
Oh, I can't wait.
Pair of shorts and an all-over print t-shirt. This is awful, and nobody should buy this.
And yet people are, because it's great, Steve.
People are buying this, and I don't know why. I don't know I don't know what's wrong with these people.
There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
People are just enjoying some quality merchandise, and what's wrong with that?
It's there if you want it. It's there if you want it. Just saying.
This is your work. You should be happy that people are enjoying
I made all this stuff, and it's, how do you pronounce it? Aberrant. Abhorrent. How do you say that word? Horrible.
I'm not going to tell you because I'm not going to feed into the idea that you think that stuff stinks, because I think it's great.
Oh, come on. Now I really want to know. How do you say aberrant?
You have to look it up. I ain't telling you.
Abhorrent. It's awful.
It's
just awful. So anyways, I want to say thanks.
Great, smelty. It's awesome.
I want to say thanks to everybody who tuned in to watch our watch along today. What's coming up in March? Like,
it's just
AEW
Revolution. It's Revolution.
Revolution. I'm going to do watch alongs for AEW pay-per-views. They're so long. They
are very long.
Just sit here.
But
you know what we should do?
It's the only pay-per-view next month.
We should do a WWE 2K25 My GM special.
The old game?
Well, the new one's not out yet, so it's still new to me. You've never played it, so it's new to you.
We did My GM on that.
Not on 2K25. We haven't done that since 2K24, dude.
Oh, how different is it, really?
Well, that's my point. Ain't going to be no different in 2K26. I'm saying I don't want to pay for 2K26, and we need some content in March on Twitch. I'd rather do that than sit here all sweaty during an AEW show.
We'll see. We'll see. I'll think about it.
All right. Yeah, I don't really want to do it either. I'm just saying. I like.
There we go. It's not happening.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We really appreciate it. We'll be back on Monday for our Raw review on Monday Noche. So be sure to hang out with us. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.